In my experience in being a TI, a targeted individual, especially in a small town, I've noticed that even the most mundane tasks have some type of synchronization or, attempted sabotage, if you will, somewhere in the mix. It's like these people are so threatened and insecure and already have, all of these resources and all of these perps and gang stalkers and people in place. The ones that are facilitating the organized stalking and the gang stalking, the so-called higher ups or authority figures, that like you can go do the most mundane tasks. Like it ain't even something super incredible. It could be as simple as just going to the store, going to a repair shop to get your phone fixed, for example. And while you do the most mundane things and just simple things like that, just simple tasks, they'll send people and it'll be so obvious. And it's like one thing I've noticed is that they'll try to get people to color code or wear the same thing you wear. And I've already been going through this for years. So I'm not saying that any of this bothers me. I'm not freaking out. I'm not paranoid. I don't have anxiety or anything like that. Maybe in the beginning, I mean, who wouldn't when they realize so many people are conspiring against them and doing all these psychological tactics? Maybe in the beginning, but over time, I just got so used to it. I just don't give it my energy or pay it any mind most of the time. It's kind of like, oh, I see what's going on, but it's kind of like I don't really give a shit. But it's just funny to me, man, how people can be so threatened, how people can be so insecure and, miserable, especially these people in these towns. You know what I mean? In these cities, they form these little cliques and groups and they decide to just get together and mob against one person. Like, it, that spells misery. Like, that is just like the most, insecure shit you could do as a person, but here's the thing, a lot of these people are followers by nature though. So without these little groups, without these secret group chats and all this synchronization, these people don't really have a higher purpose. They don't have a calling on their life. They're not connected to the source of the divine, the most high God, which by the way goes beyond religion, because I know that a lot of these perps and gang stalkers are in the churches and the same ones pretending to be good people out here, but that's a whole nother video. But all I'm saying is just organized stalking, gang stalking, all this community policing and all the resources and time and manpower and wasted resources, like I said, that go into this. It really shows that people seriously have no deeper purpose within life itself. And if you've seen that movie The Matrix, this is what they were talking about. The same ones, those who aren't trying to, wake up to what's going on and see the truth about this world are the same ones who are they're going to fight to protect this system because this is all they have. Of course they sold their souls. Of course, they covet material things and they put money and materials above anything else because the physical world, the people of this world, this is their heaven. This is their everything. They don't believe in anything that goes beyond this physical realm. And they'll say they do, they'll claim to be um connected spiritually, or they'll try to claim God, but at the same time, how can you be claiming God or anything more than this world when they're out here gang stalking and perping and participating in crimes against humanity in a slow kill program, doing this against your neighbor, doing this against your coworker, your family member, people within your community. So It's funny how backwards this is. You know, the real domestic terrorists and the real criminals are out here being protected by so-called authority figures and being told to do these things. But that's what I just wanted to say. I noticed that today, you know, and that's why when you try to make any progress as a TI, they're always going to be there to monitor and attempt to sabotage. And that shouldn't discourage you from trying to get somewhere in life. But what I'm saying is, you know, they always got one of these ass wipes watching, monitoring, reporting back, even when you go do the most simple, mundane tasks. Like they always got somebody watching. There's always going to be somebody watching. There's going to be somebody reporting your whereabouts. There's always going to be people being nosy and not minding their own business. And that's really what this society is as a whole. It's turned into a community policing, you know, surveillance state. It's like an apparatus of just all types of individuals that they use at their disposal. So that's all I wanted to say. And a lot of TIs wonder, you know, how are they here already, or how do they synchronize so well, and how do they get to where you're going at the same time, or depart from where you're going at the same time. You know, you arrive on your street, they're arriving on your street. You get home, they're getting home. You know, because this is all these people do, y'all. They have no life. Their life is to judge your life and try to pick you apart. But at the same time, these are sellouts who really have no backbone and don't really have no loyalty to anything. So anybody that doesn't stand for something is gonna fall for anything. And that's just some, you know, general words I wanted to speak on in this video. But I noticed that today, and I was just thinking like, damn, like this is really people's lives out here, y'all. These people really base their lives off of watching, stalking, following, harassing, you know, attempting to sabotage and reporting specific individuals' whereabouts. And then it's funny when you see these people in your neighborhoods, you know, they all got their garages open and they're all trying to interact with each other and act normal. But there's nothing normal about doing any of that to one person in a group form. So that's how you know people in this society, like I said on the other video, people are really sick out here. It's a sick society. That's why you can't even trust your neighbor. You can't even trust your own family these days. People are really out here trying to get you knocked off. At least from what I've seen in my case. So to all the TIs out there, man, y'all take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Trust your own judgment, your own intuition, and keep as much faith as possible, because that's what's gonna get you through this. And you don't have to listen to what these people are saying, because a lot of these people judging and making remarks and trying to mock and say all this and that, they wouldn't even make it through half of this shit.